Liverpool 2, Everton 2. Welcome back to KangBrosTV. I want to do the reaction to the game we've just seen, the fast that we've just seen.
It's a disgrace. Drogba time, yeah? It's a disgrace. Bro, I don't understand how managers even do the interviews after the game. Even doing this video now, I'm vexed. I want to hear from Everton fans and neutrals what they thought about that game, because I know what Liverpool fans are going to say. I'm riled up as it is. So I want to hear what actual Everton fans, not like these Joey fans, I'm talking about proper fans of football, how they saw that game and what the fuck was this going on.
And what I'm saying is, it's not coming from a place of, I can't believe Liverpool didn't get the 3 points.
Not at all.
Because that's one side of it. Obviously, I want Liverpool to win because that's my team. But I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, it's happening too frequently now. These decisions are supposed to be for the better of the game. Can someone tell me, have I missed something? You would have to, so from what it looks like, is that Mane would have had to be in between the two defenders to get so if he's in between, then all of a sudden it's going to be like, we're definitely onside because we can see Mina. So it's ridiculous. It's stupid. What is the point? What's the point then? We just leave it. Just scrap it all together then. Just scrap it all together and at least have it, because people talk about eradicating that howler. So if you eradicate the howler, then everyone's like, oh yeah, well it gives people less to talk about because this is how it is. Well no, leave it then. Because we're still talking about howlers as far as I'm concerned. Because someone just cost the team 3 points.
The thing that gets me is, right, if they want to carry on doing this way, somebody has to be put on blast for this decision. Who's making this decision? I'm not talking about the department. I'm not talking about the office door. I'm talking about the person who called that, said it was offside.
Because that's why referees like, ain't me. It's
that's
not me, cuz.
And the blame is going to no one. So people just
like that, bruv.
Exactly. That's what it's one of them ones. Like, it was him. And no one has any responsibility for that decision. And that's why these wacky decisions are being made, because no one is being held accountable for that call. Now, if neutrals and Everton fans are 10 minutes offside, I want to hear your justification.
And the other thing is, there's a screen there. Go and look at the screen. Make your own decision.
No, let him do the decision.
This done here in my ear. Just...
Do you know what I mean? And this is why it will continue unless someone's held accountable. These kind of there's a guy gone home today with that who's made that call,
chilling, picking up pee. And the thing is, the worst thing is, if you think about it, going back to the Spurs game, yeah, Eric Dyer handball. It's not a handball. It's not a handball. These decisions that are being made, some done. There's so many points you could. It leads you on to everyone. So if VAR's got involved for that. So where was VAR when Van Dijk's leg almost got snapped, got discombobulated? Then where was he? Where was VAR for that? So that same Don sitting there at that point, he was nipped out to make a coffee.
That's what I'm saying. And I've never ever heard this whole thing about you can just do whatever you want. Just go on and do whatever you want as long as the whistle has been blown. Are you mad?
The other thing is, the whistle at that point, the whistle actually hadn't been blown. He hadn't blown the whistle. If you watch the replays, once Mitty comes through, clothesline, DDTs in them, then he goes, yeah, offside. So he actually hadn't blown the whistle at that point. So as far as and then the other thing is, and these guys after the game they're talking about, they said Reece James got sent off for an incident that was off after the whistle had gone. The game was done, the half was finished. Bilic got done when he went to speak to the referee after the game. Players get sent off in the tunnel, cuz. So don't tell me it's about, if that is assault. What he did is assault. He made 2 worldies as well. I'm not denying that. Made 2 worldies. Should have been sent off, and that should have been a goal at the end as well. So that would have been another howler. So as far as I'm concerned, if that's England's number 1, do one. Because that's not good enough. And then it goes back to the VAR. What are you doing? What are you actually doing? What is it? Is it making the game better? It's not. Richarlison, that's a red card. They should make a special card for what that was, because that's not even a red. You should be getting a double sin bin red card where you're gone for 2 weeks, them things there. But what happened before that? Yerry Mina's come up and elbowed Matey in the face.
No.
Full up. That's fine. That's cool, because what he's done's worse. So make it easier. It makes it easier because it means I don't have to deal with that situation. So all of a sudden that's the elbow. So that elbow is fine. Where's VAR? What is VAR? What is the point of VAR? It's not making it any better. And that's not just because Liverpool have drawn today. I'm talking about in general. There's games every week. There's a decision that you think that's rubbish. Well, if that's the case, then leave the technology out of it then and let them make their own mistakes, because they're still having the same conversations. You're still talking about a mistake that's been made.
Hey, bro, it goes back to what I said. Someone needs to be held accountable. When a game starts, they should say VAR box. Here he is, Steve Jones. Here is his picture. This is what this guy looks like. Because then he's going to get his shit coming to him, and he has to then think about twice about a decision.
Unless they're doing it, unless why they do it is to keep referees
safe. That's
safe.
All it is. That's all it is. And okay, look, we'll get the VAR done. Okay, now, as I said, I got a lot of respect for Ancelotti. And the way he set his team up, they did certain things they've got quality. They finally got some quality there on the pitch, and they used it to their own advantage. They let Liverpool have the ball. They took their chances when they did. So even when the game was going on, bar these crazy shit was going on, obviously it has a massive impact on the game. Like if Pickford shouldn't even be on the pitch, VVD should be still on the pitch. And like, do those goals really happen? Those headed goals, if VVD's there, I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong, calvert-lewin header was
That
great.
airtime, yeah, that's mad.
Bro, he's hanging
That
there
hang
like
time.
fucking Michael Jordan shit, bro. Like, this is hanging there.
And you're right. It's very. That's the point to make clear. Is that's a great game of football.
It was.
By the way,
It was.
That's a top game of football.
One of the best. If you look at the quality from both teams,
Yeah.
I think it was very, very good. And
that for me was a brilliant game of football. I'm not walking away from it thinking that's an unfair result, because I think a draw at the end of the day, they hit the post. They had a couple of good chances.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, if you look at it, all in all, when you calm down, you look at it and think, yeah, okay. To be fair, a draw isn't. It's not. Liverpool have created 3 goals and scored 3 goals, so they should be winning the game, and that's what champions do, as far as I'm concerned. You win games when they are tough. So from that perspective, they should have won that game. But the other side of it is you don't walk away from it. Think that's a travesty, because Everton did play well. They had moments in that game where I thought that they're a good side.
Well, the way Liverpool started though, the first goal when it happened, I was just on. This is exactly what I wanted to see for Liverpool. From what the Villa whole shit, they were on job. They were moving the ball, popping it until the madness happened. Then the game changed. The one thing I want to point out, right, and I think people are always on his dick when he's doing good, which is Trent. When he's whipping in crosses, he's doing free kicks, he's brilliant. Oh, it's all right. He's not the best of defenders. Like people like Wan-Bissaka are better than him, and he's better than him. Reece James, he's better than him. But you know what? Going forward, Trent's brilliant. Somebody please, who knows probably more knowledge about me about football, defensively, what was Trent Alexander doing for the second goal? Please, if you haven't seen it and you're blaming other people, rewind that back and tell me what Trent's doing. Talk to me through that, bro. Talk to me what Trent is doing in that goal. He just let the ball, mate, he had the ball and cross the ball.
I'm just going to say, to jump on that point, there's no surprise that you're not playing for England. There's no surprise that he pulled you with 10, 15 minutes to go in the first game. There's no surprise that he didn't pick you in the second game, because you're not a good defender. That's not your fault. That's not your fault. You're not the best defender. Some of you said that for a long time. But today, the exact same thing happened. I know tactically they're trying to play a certain way where they're trying to push up, that's fine. But you still got to remember, you are a right back. You're a right back. So their left back has got the run on you.
Yeah, hold on. Just their left back. Not midfielder, not winger. Their left back.
Their left back's got the run on you. It has run you on the outside. Now, there's no one else in between. There's no midfielder that you have to worry about. There's no winger you have to worry about. The ball was here. Midfield had that covered. He ran there. And Trent just watched him go and just went, you know what, that's cool, because if it gets there, then so what, we'll deal with it. Mate, you ain't that quick that you're going to catch him.
Virgin there.
Virgin there. And Digne, crossing ability is a joke. Yeah, that's one thing he's very good at, is delivering.
Do not let that ball come in.
2 goals have come in. One was a corner, his corner. Second goal, his cross. He's very good at delivering the ball. Defensively, that was a shambles. I called it to you even at the time. Even at the time, I said,
he was screaming.
I was screaming at it. I was like, what's he doing? Trent, that's too easy. That's not good enough. Too easy. Boom, goal. Done. Game done. Calvert-Lewin in the box, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think there's a better person in the air in the Premier League at this minute.
He uses his attributes very well. He knows, I'm good, I'm tall, I can chest the ball, and he does that very well. He gets into very, very tricky positions for defenders to be able to stop him. So, like we said, I don't want to take away from Everton how they perform, but I think I want to hear from Everton fans, real football fans, is in some of the shit that's going on around the actual game itself is just a madness for me. And it would have made a huge difference. That guy in the middle for Everton, was his name Alan? Bruv, I don't know how many fouls that guy did until he actually got a yellow card.
And this is my point. Fabinho got booked for the first one that wasn't really a foul, but James stayed on the floor for time and got him booked. So I don't know if that's good gamesmanship or whatever. But what I'm saying is, again, is this officiating of these games. The officiating of these games, I'm baffled. Don't get me wrong, it's probably the same for Liverpool. There's a couple of Virgil got away with a few 3 really headed doors. Boom, boom, boom. A strong referee would have booked him. Would have said, that's 3. Doesn't matter. Even if it's spread out, that's 3 fouls.
Yeah, calm me out.
You're booked. 1, okay, cool, I'll let you off. Second one, right, any more, 3, there you go, then do it again. So as far as I'm concerned, you've got to be a strong referee in those situations.
Final question, and this is not me. This is him, not me. Could Alisson do more from
Adrian?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Could Adrian do more in the first goal? Could he do more in the first goal? I think personally, I think it's harsh. He has not got a lot of reaction time Virgil's not there. Virgil would never let that happen. Can he do more?
This is my personal take on it. Those things happen very quickly. Yeah, and like I said, I've had the unfortunate job of having to go in sometimes. It's very, very hard. I mean, I was a shambles. But one thing I would say is, when you're at a corner and you're bouncing and then your feet hit the floor, the one thing you want is it in your box here. So you could just go boom, boom, boom. That's where you want it. If it's outside you at that pace, cool. But as far as I'm concerned, he might as well not have been stood there then. That's all I'm saying. Because if it's in your box and you can't even put your fists up to just boom, I think maybe I got my head in the clouds. Correct people, I would love to hear your opinions on this, especially if there's any goalkeepers amongst that watch this. But from my experience, and this is from my wicketkeeping as well, you want it in the box. You want it in your box, really, because you think to yourself, right, well, I've given myself every opportunity here. If he does it at this pace and it's either to left or right of me, it's better when they nick it. And you pull out a worldie, then you pull out a worldie. But the ones I'm not going to drop are going to be the ones here. And that's my box. Yes, it's quick, but you've got it's almost harder for him to get out of the way of it than him to get something on it. So as far as I'm concerned, I think Alisson, and that's what we're taking for granted, would have saved that. That's just my opinion. But again, that's still not good enough from the defensive perspective. Brilliant cross, got the run on him, got the header, fine. But as a goalkeeper, if you could pick a place, if you tell me they're going to whip across in, he's going to get the run on his defender, where do you want it? You're either going to say there, so it hits me on my face, but typically you're going to say this is the box that I'd probably want it at, and it was there. Yes, it was quick, but that's a goalkeeper's job, isn't it? That's my take on it. Maybe I'm being harsh. I would love to hear your thoughts, but you should be doing more.
As I said, for me, I personally think it's harsh. So moving on, just before we go to man of the match, just quickly touching on Bobby. Now, we've been saying it for a time that Bobby is not apparent. He's not on it. How did you feel he performed today? And do you think now we should take him out of the team or keeping him in there?
So for me personally, I'm happy to put my neck out and defend him on performances like today, because if you're not scoring but you're doing everything else, 100. I can live with that. It's keep holding the ball, bringing people into play, using your body well, taking centre backs, pulling them out of positions, making those gaps. Fine, I can defend him on that because we're scoring goals and we're playing well. But when we're not scoring goals and you're not holding the ball up and you're not even being a link man, yes, he had an off day against Villa. A lot of people did. And the biggest thing for me was, I even said it, I was like, is this, are we seeing the falling apart of this side? I know it's been extreme, but that's my concern. It wasn't. This reaction shows that Liverpool, that was a one-off. You got everything out your system. This performance was much, much better. Yes, we've conceded 2 goals. The goalkeeper, for me, I can't believe it wasn't addressed. The centre-back problem, again, something that we've called from a long time ago, we did need addressing. Matip was good to have him back.
Just came in, bro, and just did his thing.
Gomez worries me. The right back, Trent, I'm sorry, but it's not a surprise. Southgate's not an idiot. He would have seen that and said, you know what, yes, he can cross the ball. Well done. Wan-Bissaka's going to play for a different country, by the way. He's going to play for Congo because he's not playing for England. Reece James has played and he was much better.
Balance-wise, well, trust me.
So it's not a surprise. I'm not taking anything away from Trent, because look at what he's achieved, and he's young and he can get better. But he needs to get better.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, just let's be fair, because when he does well, everybody's on Trent. Like, yeah Trent's this, that, but we're just trying to give him a balance.
He needs to get better.
He definitely needs to get better.
I mean, if you don't believe that, I listened to something on Talk Sport the other day. Darren Goff was saying England should build their team around Trent because of what he does for Liverpool. Mate, no. I'm sorry. They're completely different set-up teams. England don't have Mane, Salah, Firmino, Wijnaldum. They're like them sort of players who are just relentless in what they do. England ain't got that. Declan Rice isn't going to replicate what these guys do. Yes, Sancho and Rashford are good and all that. They're good, very good players, but they're not the team that is in front of Trent at the moment. Liverpool are set up in a certain way, and he fits that, but he doesn't fit what England want to do. The way England want to play, Trent doesn't fit that, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know. I think that's a topic for different. I think another discussion as well, because I think there's some players. If you're talking about Sancho and Rashford, and you're talking about Harry Kane, there's a lot of quality and pace there.
100%. But that team is set up. That team is functioning in such a way. Liverpool's team functions in such a way that it's full throttle, 100 mile an hour. Everyone, all the way through.
You saw Everton's hammies going left, right, centre. There were people sitting down taking a break because it's just relentless.
But that's an unbelievable game of football today.
It was a very good game.
James is a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Calvert-Lewin is a problem. I thought
Genius crosses was phenomenal, bruv.
So
as I said, Everton, it was a good game. It just got ruined for me by the whole thing. And I've been saying it's not about just because Liverpool didn't win. It's just the other shit that's going on.
It's a football. If you're a football fan and it happens to your team, you're going to be thinking the same thing. It's not about that. It's not about my team anymore. Because yes, I am not happy that we didn't win the game because I think we should have. I think we did enough to win that game. Yes, they had chances, but I think we were the better team on the whole. And then you do everything away from home to get the win. But then those little things like that, you look at it and think it just ruins football. It ruins for everybody.
And the thing is, it's highlighted when your team's involved in it, basically.
Of course, yeah.
You see when Man City played Tottenham Champions League that you get the VAR decision, then it turns around. You then feel it more. Like it feels even fucking if a bigger sucker blow. Like when you've
Merseyside derby, you've got the third goal.
That's it.
92nd minute,
and that's
you win the game.
So man of the match, who are you gonna give it to?
Oh, Thiago.
I would give it to Sadio Mane. For me, he was relentless the whole game. He was just a problem whole game. The only reason I didn't give it to Thiago, he was fantastic, but he took a while. We were discussing it. We just felt that Liverpool weren't playing to his best abilities. That maybe he was out of position, and it took at least about 30 minutes, and then he was there.
I felt him and Fabinho for the beginning of the game were in the wrong positions. I thought Fabinho was too deep, and Thiago needed to be that deep midfielder. But I think he also proved today that he's not a lightweight. He's not someone that can't tackle, and he'll get involved, and he throws himself about. So I think he needs to be in that position, and they also need to give him the ball. They've got this thing where they want to get it, and they just want to boom, boom, boom. Fine, not a problem. Go forward. But if you've got him in your team, you play that 5-yard pass 3 times. A, he ain't getting caught in possession, or very rarely is he getting caught in possession. And B, that all of a sudden they'll take a step. They can't let him conduct the game anymore. And then these guys are freed up, and then they're one-on-one. So that's just my take on it.
So yeah, let us know who's your man of the match. Let us know your opinions on what we just brought up. Because as I said, I think I love to hear people's take on it. So until then, don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and most definitely comment.